Namaskar, welcome to Honest Astrologer, and today I have a very special guest with me. It is my friend, my coach, and my mentor, Shrish Raj. He is one of the most intelligent people I've met in my life. And people call me when they are in trouble. This is the man I call when I'm in trouble or confusion. So it's such an honor to have him here. Shrish sir, welcome to the channel. बहुत स्वागत.
Thank you, sir. You are very kind, and thank you for having me here. Actually, I should be saying thank you.
Arre, it's my pleasure and privilege. So, sir, today we are here to talk about your Ketu Mahadasha.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
this is one topic very close to my heart. Whatever I am today, 70% of it I owe to my research done on Ketu, and whatever followed, created honest astrologer out of a corporate slave. So it has been a difficult journey, but it has been a rewarding journey for me personally. और मैं तो लिटरली केतु महादशा में जो सीखा उसकी रोटी खा रहा हूँ आज भी. A person like you who comes from a very illustrious background, your family details, you told me after many months, and I was surprised that you never mentioned them, and that shows your modesty. And of course, you belong to a very solid background. How did a person like you go through Ketu Mahadasha? We'll talk about it. First, I would like to like you to introduce yourself, telling your education, qualification, work experience, and a little about your family legacy, so that people know that not just common people or middle class people suffer through Ketu. It is people coming from very illustrious background, even they suffer their share of karma. So, sir, over to you.
So I come from a very reputed family of Punjab, family of educators and business people, and that's from both sides, my father's side and my mother's side also. I'm a law graduate. I'm a science graduate. I've been looking after the family business of manufacturing, managing real estate, trusts, and all that for the last 34 years now. So that's the background, and I went through that period of struggle that everybody does, but I'm very thankful to God that struggle was very well taken care of. Pinch feel hota tha, but then if I see in the retrospect, it was a very comfortable struggle that God took me through. Having said that, there were times when the situations looked very tight, very tension filled. I would admit to that, but all was taken care of. And as far as my skill set is concerned, in the last 4-5 years, I've done a lot of learning. I've become a consultant, fitness and nutrition consultant. I am a life coach, as you very well know now, for the last 1.5 years. And there's a deep desire of learning at this stage of my life. I don't know from where it's coming. And I'm learning astrology also. That's for passion. That's for learning. So my friends tell me if you had studied that much when you were in college, you would have become an IAS officer.
So in your chart, you have Saraswati Yoga, so you are blessed with a lot of knowledge and ability to learn and teach. And I was one of the cheerleaders for you when you entered life coaching, and I've been one of the people who's been pestering you off and on. Ki, sir, I need some clarity, I need a session. Sir, before we go to your Ketu, tell us about your Mercury Dasha. You have one of the strongest Mercuries I've seen in my career. So how was your Mercury period?
Okay, so I'll just take a step further back. So before we started Mercury, you have to understand that 20 years of my life,
Shani.
from age 10 till age 30, was Shani. A period of lot of hard work, lot of failures, lot of losses, I would say. So when Mercury Mahadasha came, so I was not at 0 or 5, +5. I was at probably -5. So we have to think about Mercury Mahadasha. And this thought came to me after our meeting on the 1st of April, when we were just discussing this, and this I understood what you told me. So Mercury Mahadasha, that was all right. Initial Mercury Ketu का एक brief period आया था, which was as bad as this whole Ketu Mahadasha. And then the last part, Budh Shani. उन 2 सालों ने कानों को हाथ लगवा दिए. They were the trailers of what is going to come. Only thing is that at that time, when you will have to appreciate, I didn't know anything about astrology, not even an A about astrology. So I didn't know what was happening. 2 tragedies in the family,
Oh.
lot of tension. The health issue that came up in Shukra was like initiated. उसने अपना रंग दिखा दिया था वो 3-4 महीने. And lot of mental tension, and also the detachment with friends and relationship with the relatives, rather I should say, started in both only. But it was like still there was some kind of an attachment. You know, they're long time friends. You've been together with many things. Relatives are there for the last so many years. पर वो पूरा एक ट्रेलर बुध शनि ने दिखा दिया था. Budh Mahadasha overall was all right, I would say. So -5 to +2, +3, if not +5. So the rise was 7, but it appeared only 2 or 3. If I say that why was my Budh not that good, I asked you that question and you said it depends on what you're looking for Budh. So on my way back, I was thinking about it and said, okay, the starting point was not 0.
Yeah.
It was -5. So I would say on and all very good. New direction to the business started there. I started the entrepreneur venture of Wellness Center, the gym that we run. That was in the Budh, and I found new direction towards the business, something which I was very much trying from Shani Mahadasha. It started in Budh. So all in all, a good pace. Just that last one was terrible. Last that in Purata.
Mercury शनि में that lays the foundation of things to come. In केतु, और वो केतु आते ही विस्फोट शुरू हो जाता. Okay. So when we talk about the start of Ketu, did you feel any shift of energy, circumstances? How did it start?
Okay, Ketu, I would say little bit of that health issue which I had, and I'll tell you what the health issue was. Actually, it was a kind of a muscular pain more around my shoulders and my neck, and it was like stiffness in the body. And at that time, my daughter went to study, went to the hostel to do her schooling. But Ketu was, I think, more or less okay. Not much of a problem. I don't remember anything untoward happening. ये सारी कहानी केतु वीनस में शुरू हुई साहब.
Ketu Venus is hell on earth.
Oh
my God, it shatters me just to think about it.
Ketu
Venus, Moon Rahu, मेरे बाप की तौबा. I wouldn't wish it on my enemies. So what happened in Ketu Venus?
Okay, so starting, in fact, I would say after 1997, even after in the Shani Mahadasha, I generally had a very good health. I was physically very active, and my health in Budh was also all right. कोई सर्दी जुकाम की दवाई खा ली, डॉक्टर पता भी नहीं किस डॉक्टर के जाना है, और सब चल रहा है. Ketu Venus first started with mental tension. I mentioned to you, we had gone to we were in Jaipur, and I had that new car, that new fancy car, and the car was parked in one of the best hotels of Jaipur. And in the morning, I see that the rear light is broken. Driving back, a pebble comes, and the windshield is shattered, just like that. So it started that way, and then suddenly the pains, which were there in the Budh Mercury period, they started. Like a very prudent person, I immediately went to Delhi, and the MRIs were done, brain, neck, all well. Nothing to worry. Have medicine. Show to the best of the doctors in the max and all that. And somehow things were going all right, and this pain started increasing. And the day I just crossed my birthday, and the pain started like anything. और सबसे बड़ी बात दिमाग में आ गया कि कहीं कुछ गड़बड़ है, because while coming back from one of the trips of Jaipur, the car jumped over a speed breaker. That increased the pain. So the thought that first came in the mind कि कुछ spine में problem हो. And thereafter, there was no diagnosis of it. I was having 4 painkillers in a day, and I couldn't lie down. I couldn't sleep. Things were so bad. I couldn't wear a jacket on my shoulders.
Okay.
Pain, and MRIs are on it. Kya kare saab? Let's go to Delhi, get it checked. Went to the Delhi, and they went to the doctor, and doctor says, okay, you need some physiotherapy. And the physiotherapist says, you're all gone, and uh, you have to stay there, and you have some problems with your spinal cord, with your spine. And I said, look, MRIs are saying, all right, can't you see this? And itna pressure dal diya. That was, I still remember that 1 month of November 2001, 2015. It was like hell. All exercises stopped. गर्दन ऐसे रखनी है, ऐसे रखनी है. And I was like, सब कुछ जो आप कह रहे हो कर रहा हूँ, दर्द क्यों नहीं खत्म हो रहा? 4-5 स्पेशलिस्ट को दिखा लिया, कोई नहीं. And मजे की बात है, there's one homeopathic doctor, very reputed doctor, Dr. Kalyan Banerjee, who's like we call him Dada, a relation of 3 generations, and he was not available. I had immense faith in his diagnosis, his medication. He was not feeling well. He was not available, not diagnosed, nothing. 1 महीना इन दिल्ली, 3 दिन के लिए गए थे, 1 महीना दिल्ली रहे सिर्फ फिजियोथेरेपी कराने के लिए. And the fear that was put in my mind, you cannot drive now for more than half an hour. If you drive, then you have to get down, then wait for 10 minutes. And my mind immediately went, my daughter is 12 hours away. If I have to go to meet her, it will take me 3 days to reach there. You know, the kind of mental tension it had. And at the same time, true colors of your friends, your relatives started coming up. And you felt you were alone. There was no support system. And I was like, my daughter has just gone to the school. And what will happen to her, how things happen. So it was all combination of all this. 3-4 months like this, and then after 6 months, I finally could contact my doctor, and he said, okay, you just have my medicine. And then I met another neurophysician who could diagnose it, that it's just nothing but muscular pains. Throw away the collar they put on you. And from there on, things started improving a little. But what improving? So I said, चलो हो ही रहा है तो सब चेकअप करा लेते हैं. जिस चीज को हाथ लगाओ उसमें प्रॉब्लम. Blood pressure going up and down for somebody who's so fit. Blood pressure going up and down. आई चेक कराया, उसमें कुछ इश्यू निकल के आ गया, although a temporary issue. अल्ट्रासाउंड कराया, उसमें यूरिनरी सिस्टम में कोई इश्यू आ गया, नॉट डायग्नोस एनीथिंग. चेकिंग कराना बंद करो, एक एक करके. देन the last 3 months, now I should give credit to Ketu Venus for the last 3 months. I started with my transformation. उधर वो transformation शुरू हुआ, उधर एक एक करके things started settling in. The pains continued for another couple of years. They were very troublesome, but that homeopathic medicine really helped me, took care of the pain. So last 3 months were a relief, but वो 5 महीने I wouldn't want to go through again.
When you say you started the transformation, what was the transformation?
The transformation was basically, all exercises were stopped, and I couldn't even walk around. For somebody who was walking around 9 kilometers, having heavy workout in gym, 1 kilometer भी चलना मुश्किल था, इतना body pains था. So I contacted a nutritionist and a fitness consultant, and I said I want to lose weight now, because they had put me on blood pressure medication. It was so bad, the anxiety and the blood pressure, after Holter test, and they put me on a blood pressure medication. I said, let me. So we started on diet. And he wanted me to go to the gym, which I refused, because itni buri conditions se nikla tha, I didn't want to take any risk. So I said I will walk. So transformation was basically taking care of my diet, chopping all nonsense that I was eating, consuming 1 packet of biscuit in the breakfast, thinking कि बड़ा light breakfast किया है. Eating healthy, all healthy things, outside food खत्म, sugar control किया, and I lost around 16 kgs at that time.
Wow.
And that took care, and in 1 month my blood pressure medication was off, my other parameters all settled. एक urinary issue था जो कि था तो उस समय dormant, but it was growing inside, which couldn't be identified at that time. But then, as you know, it got taken care of in venous period. Um, so transformation was majorly taking care of my eating habits and going back to being physically active.
Okay, great. Then comes Ketu Sun. Now, Ketu Sun, I've usually seen it bring humiliation and ego break. Now, you coming from this illustrious background, how did you handle your Ketu Sun? Did you
Okay,
have to
so
go through something similar, or what was it?
okay, so there are two aspects to this now. Ketu Sun enhanced my goodwill in the market as a businessman, as a person. But the humiliation part of it came that I was pushed to the wall and I didn't have it in me to give it back. I was absorbing anything that was coming my way. I was still not very sure about my health condition, and there was no support system per se for me. So I didn't want to open another fund. So humiliation was in the kind that anybody who would be there and he just wanted to push me, he'll just push me, and I had to take it. You know, so the ego part of it that I can go with, but when it comes to the the goodwill part of it, my goodwill as a businessman, as a person, that enhanced. As a matter of fact, it was in Ketu Sun period. I still remember, out of nowhere, the business which also was doing a little iffy kind of a thing. I got agency of two companies which people don't get easily. The field for those so many years would say कि इनको कैसे मिल गया? Yeah, out of nowhere, two company agencies I got. And those are now the flagship companies of distribution that I do. And just say I just met somebody, and out of a conversation, why don't you do this? So unexpected opportunity, which usually people don't get, and I got that. So business was doing well. But yes, I was like shown the true colors of my friends and my relatives. Baba. It was at that time that I was made to feel, or they thought that I was, a gone thing now. And what was really hurtful was at this period that people whom I had helped without any desire to get anything back, without any consideration, दिल से जिनकी help करी आज तक लिया नहीं. I've always been a giver. I've never been a taker kind of a person. उन्होंने जो switch मारा, shatter हो गया सारा. And then people pushed me to the wall, really pushed me to the wall.
Ketu Sun does that because मैंने एक बहुत फ्रीक्वेंट पैटर्न देखा कि आपके सामने कोई हाथ पकड़ के गिड़गिड़ाने वाले लोगों में से कोई बुरा नहीं लगता आपका. तो इट शोज यू कि इट्स अ मैटर ऑफ टाइम. इट्स अ सर्कल. इफ यू आर अप टुडे यू कैन बी डाउन टुमारो. So it shatters your ego, but it shows the true color of people as well. I've seen that. So coming to the next one, Ketu moon, usually I've seen it to be a calming period. Rahu moon is horrible, Ketu moon is tolerable. वो इतनी मारपीट के बाद में, after all the humiliations, you come to a point where you get a sigh of relief. So how was Ketu moon for you?
Yeah, right. So I missed one thing in Ketu Sun. So as my health started improving, my wife's health started deteriorating.
Okay.
So the tension shifted from there to the second front खुल गया.
Yeah.
तो ये भी एक कारण हो गया कि बाहर वाला फ्रंट कोई नहीं खोलना, घर को संभालो. Ketu moon personally for me was calm. I was getting all right, step by step, step by step. Wife ka was an issue, up and down, and that could cause some kind of mental tension और कुछ ऐसा major नहीं. Towards the end of Ketu moon, liquidity tightness started coming in. That was towards the fag end. तब तक बहुत comfortable था. Then that liquidity tightness started coming in. But yes, much more calmer period. But for the fact, but then I was coming back in control of things because I was taking care of the family, and my situation was also much better.
So केतु मार्स पे आते हैं हम. केतु मून इज यूजुअली uneventful. केतु मार्स is when you are thrown against the wall and you happily take that fighting route. I call it the man at war period. But it brings a lot of conflict, and at times it brings health issues. So it's the start of the end, so to speak. So how was it for you?
So Ketu Mars, personally, my health was quite all right. No issues with that. It was improving still. Wife's health deteriorated at that time. वो issue बढ़ता जा रहा था. And stress also increased. But if I remember correctly, some kind of courage was coming back.
Yeah.
If not to fight back, then to push back. Enough. Like when you are pushed too much, then if you don't fight back, but you say, बहुत हो गया, बस.
Right.
Just give a warning kind of a thing to the people. You get that confidence, and that confidence came. But business was going okay, but personally, finances were getting tighter and tighter in this period.
क्योंकि मार्स केतु इज अ वेरी फायरी कॉम्बिनेशन. मतलब इफ आई हैव सीन दिस कॉम्बिनेशन इन अ पर्सनस चार्ट, उस घर में आग लगा देखा है मैंने. अक्सर डिजीजेस देखे हैं, बिकॉज इट्स वेरी वेरी इंटेंस एनर्जी एंड यू बिकम वेरी इरिटेबल. कोई छेड़ के देखो, पंगा लो सही है आप.
वेरी राइट. अंदर ना इतना गुस्सा, इतना फ्रस्ट्रेशन हो चुका था अब तक, और निकलने का रास्ता था नहीं. और सबसे बड़ी बात क्या आई थी, नाउ दैट यू रिमाइंड मी, इज दैट इट सीम्ड लाइक कि एक गोल चक्कर में घूम रहे हैं. देयर इज नो डोर. यू जस्ट रनिंग राउंड एंड राउंड एंड राउंड. इमेजिनेशन जीरो. क्या करना है, क्या नहीं करना, इमेजिनेशन जीरो हो गई. बस एक गुस्सा, एक फ्रस्ट्रेशन, एक एंगर एट एवरीथिंग दैट वाज हैपनिंग. निकाल सकते नहीं.
वो एक हेडलेस एग्रेशन आ जाता है तुम्हें, बिकॉज केतु मून यू ऑफन एब्जॉर्ब अ लॉट ऑफ नॉनसेंस. मून टेंड्स टू पैसिफाई यू और मार्स टेंड्स टू ब्लो थिंग्स अप. सो मुझे याद है, इट वाज द फैग एंड ऑफ माय कॉर्पोरेट करियर. आई यूजुअली डोंट टॉक अबाउट माय केतु महादशा, बिकॉज मुझे कभी कभी लगता है कि मैं वीडियो में रोना नहीं शुरू कर दूं. थिंक ऑफ दोस डेज. So Mars period, I really gave it back. Ketu Mars, I became this bloody out of control comet. तो वो सारा corporate slavery मैंने ताक पे रख दी थी, and I resigned. I was like, screw you. ऐसे नहीं जाऊंगा. Sun in the first, राहु मंगल इकट्ठा, तो I have a hot head at times. But उन दिनों I was at my peak. कोई छेड़ा सही. So anyways, coming back to your case. Now comes the most interesting part. Ketu Rahu, which I call the celestial train wreck, the creative destruction, death in the same body, punarjanma within the same body. You are burnt to ashes and then you rise. So how was your Ketu Rahu? I'm sure this is going to be a long one. So आप बोले, मैं सुनूंगा.
जो कहा जाए कम है. Thankfully, I would say, my own health was much better.
Okay.
वो internally जो चल रहा था, because that one particular issue which was left, वो एक चल रहा था, which didn't bother me actually. But wife issues peaked, and then on top of it, another issue came up, which was my daughter's. And that also, doctors scared the hell out of us. And it was like, what is going to happen to her? It was like total chaos. At the same time, a very big issue came on business also. And it felt like सब कुछ खत्म हो जाए. But I must say that my mind was working very fine. In fact, finding a way out of that issue was only suggested by me. Let's try this and we'll find a way out. So that was all right. But वो एक साल टेंशन, in 30 hours daughter को लेके आना, वापस लेके आना, and then first they misdiagnosed something, and then they misdiagnosed something, and then when we went to Delhi, and then they put the fear of God in us, and we said, yaar, what is going to happen? And when we decided, we got some kind of a hope somewhere, and when we decided against what the doctors were saying, they have humiliated us like anything. Why have you come to us? Do this, and put the fear of God in us. कि पता नहीं तुम लोग क्या खराब कर रहे हो. At that time, I got a lot of support from my old friends, childhood friends.
Okay.
They came out of nowhere. Nothing much, a moral support. Couple of my doctor friends, one is settled in England, one is in Norway. I sent the report to them and they said, nothing doing, absolutely fine, just don't worry, keep going. Then we found a good doctor also who took care of my daughter's condition, and she was under his observation for 2-3 years, and then everything went all right. So yes, it was a tension-filled period, very bad. After that Shukra period, 3 months of Shukra, 4 or 5 months of Shukra, this 1 year was the most mentally
Yeah.
exhausting.
Ketu Shukra, Ketu Rahu, and a part of Ketu Shani. ये 3 आपको पूरा निचोड़ डालते हैं. इफ यू रिमेम्बर, केतु राहु शनि चला होगा 2 महीना, क्योंकि ये एक पीरियड होता है व्हेन आई हैव सीन आदमी जहां हाथ डालता आग निकलती है. So next, coming to Ketu Jupiter, the time for rebuilding, the time to make a comeback. How was it?
Much better. Wife's condition was taken care of. Business also started doing better. And but another issue started was, this was 2019, yes. Another issue started was कि एक issue डॉक्टर का सेटल हुआ, दूसरा शुरू हो गया. But this was not that emotionally draining. This was not that tension filled. It was taken care of by very easily for us. Unfortunately, at that time, my daughter was going through Moon Rahu.
Okay.
Unfortunately, so it was a tough period for her. So, जो parents के साथ हो सकता है when your child is going through a tough period, that was the kind of period it was, I would say. But जैसे वो balm लगा दो ना चोट पे, relief लगा दो. Dad would say that 1 year was that peaceful, 1.5 years. That was that peaceful period.
Then the fabled Ketu Shani.
Now, here you will not believe. It's something that you have to research on. The first signs of that underlying urinary condition rose its head at the end of the Shani period. So that is the worst of it. This was the period where I went into the second phase of transformation. I started working out, and I'm working out very well. I participated in Transformation Challenge, and I was top in the senior category at the age of 52. I've shared some pictures with you of that period. I rebuilt my physique. I almost had my 6 packs. Wow. My condition, almost 6 packs, because thereafter I didn't go below 9% fat. Wife's health was very good. Financial position was okay. Daughter was okay. She was going through a rough phase, but that was taken care of. The only concern which I had in Ketu Shani period was surfacing of the things to come with my urinary issue. Otherwise, my blood report's wonderful. I lost another 17 kgs in this period.
Wow.
And all muscular thing came in, and I could perform some of the exercises which I could not perform even when I was in college. It was such a beautiful year. I had meniscus. I have a meniscus here in my knee, which was in the Shani period while playing badminton. That pain went away, which was a niggling pain. I couldn't run. I couldn't do jerk things. And when I started working out in this Ketu Shani period, that pain went away. I could. I hadn't done leg exercises for the last 12, 13 years, and I could do them and do it with heavy weight. At this stage, sir, you won't believe I was doing bench press of almost 100 kgs.
Wow.
So this is something very different from a regular, and more importantly, it showed me the path forward. I did my nutrition and fitness diploma at this time.
So the only explanation I have is that you have an 11th house Shani, which I consider a blessing from the gods, and I consider it one of the luckiest placements. But हाँ वो हेल्थ पे हमला करता है, so it gave you a good run up, but जाते जाते it did
वो
its
सरफेस हो
damage.
गया, सरफेस हो गया.
लंबे प्रॉब्लम में आपको डाला. Okay. Now coming to Ketu Mercury, that is when your intelligence sort of restarts. I've seen that. वो जो केतु का सर में पत्थर पड़ा रहता है, it starts to dissolve. What was your experience?
Okay, so Ketu Mercury was the period when this yearning to learn things, get more and more knowledge. So after finishing my law, which I completed in 1996, per se, whatever I was learning through books, reading books, and some article here, some article there. But as per studies, I was not doing. But this desire to learn things, to do more and more, started in this period. I completed my diploma at that time. बड़ा फटाक से बहुत बढ़िया diploma हुआ. And so I think it was very well. That confidence also started coming in. But at the same time, I started consulting astrologers. I think Saturn period में शुरू कर दिया था, Ketu Saturn. Although बहुत धक्के खा के I met you. I had consulted a lot of people before that. And everybody would say that whatever you're having is in your mind, you have no problem at all, actually. एक थे, one of the astrologers that, जो घरों के पंडित जी होते हैं, he had said, when this period will go, it will leave you with some kind of urinary issue, which eventually will be taken care of. And usually I thought कि ठीक है, after 50 some prostate issue हो जाएगा, तो हो जाएगा, ठीक है. But Mercury में सीखने की इच्छा बहुत हो गई. Started learning a lot. Things I started grasping things very fast again, very, very fast. And I could spend hours to read, study material, which I did. I, in fact, did 2 courses, clinical nutrition course also I did at the same time. Working out, doing that. The only thing that this problem also magnified along with it. The health issue, the urinary issue, वो चलता रहा. बाकी it was a good period. And more so because, the astrology part with एक वो बांध दिया कि बस अब ये 1 साल निकला और आपका तो स्विच ऑन स्विच ऑफ होना है,
बल्ले बल्ले हो जाएगी,
बल्ले बल्ले होनी है. तो बस उसका भी एक होप आ गया कि पता नहीं क्या हो जाएगा, कि अभी बस वीनस आने वाला है, पता नहीं क्या हो जाएगा.
So how did the Dasha Sandhi hit you?
Okay, first of all, ये लगा कि सिर से कोई बोझ हट गया. कोई बहुत ज्यादा ग्रोथ आ गई नहीं, पर दिमाग के ऊपर से एक वो जैसे बोझ कोई पत्थर रखा हुआ हो ना, इफ यू आर अंडर हाइड्रोलिक प्रेस और समथिंग, प्रेस निकल गई, you felt free. Mind felt
Actually,
free.
I have a theory here, sir. Ketu is a headless planet. Okay, and whichever planet Dasha you enter, you start to think, look, act, and feel like that planet. Ketu period, your head gets attacked, and the more intelligent you are, the worse it would be. So something happens which cuts the flow of oxygen to your brain. It could be depression, sleep apnea, diabetes, you name it. Anything that will attack your brain, some disease will come, and you will feel as if a part of your brain is frozen या पत्थर पड़ा हुआ सर में. And that feeling subsides around Ketu Mercury, and of course Venus period it sort of gives way.
Yeah, very. So निकलते ही ऐसे लगा कि उतर गया. लेकिन अगर आप पूछो कि कोई मेजर ग्रोथ हो गई, नहीं. Still the failures were coming in. Still the issues, बैठे बिठाए issues in business also coming in. Another episode with wife's health, which was very well taken care of. And on and all, it has been a slow progress thereafter. And in Venus Mercury period, I got the procedure done, which you very well know of last year.
Sure.
So that problem is almost, I think, touch wood. I should say touch wood, and still the The reports it's been follow-up is being done, but I'm feeling much better now.
Kabhi kabhi, when the things are right, right things come to you, right gemstones come to you, right astrologers come to you, right doctors come to you. So, for example, I had this terrible allergy which caused extreme sleep apnea, uh, and it just went worse. I tried going vegan for 1 year, and it broke my immunity, and it just doubled, tripled, and I wasn't able to sleep for years. For 18 months, I couldn't sleep. Went to every allergy specialist, and nothing would work out. My Dasha Sandhi got over. I was talking to my best friend बचपन का यार, and I was like यार मैं सो नहीं पाता, this is my problem. He said I know a doctor, he is a general physician, you go to him. I'm like कि boss, the best of the allergy doctors couldn't do anything. He said मेरा बचपन का डॉक्टर है, तू जा एक बार. Sir, 15 days I could breathe from the nose, and the man was an MD, wasn't a allergy specialist or anything. So when the times are right, you find the right doctors or healers, psychologists, friends. You find the right kind of people, and when the time is bad, the wrong kind of people flock to you. So,
Absolutely.
that's how things happen. If you feed a street dog, do it regularly or do not do it at all, because they expect that food at the same time, same place. If they don't get them, they become angry and agitated. Then they start to attack other people. That's one. दूसरी चीज, सांप दूध नहीं पीते, पिलाना बंद कर दीजिए. वो क्या रखते हैं, उसको प्यासा रखते हैं, इतना प्यासा रखते हैं, पानी नहीं देते कई के दिन तक, तो वो दूध भी मिलता पी लेता है, एंड यूजुअली दे गेट वेरी सिक और दे डाई. सांप को मार करके आप इतना भयानक कर्म अर्न करते हो, यू स्पॉइल योर राहु एंड केतु, you are screwed. And remember, snake is not just snake, it's nag. Okay? And nagas, higher form of nagas are related to very higher forms of divine. Shiva has a naga around his neck. Vishnu sleeps on a sheshnag. Okay, at times it's protecting him. Ganesha has a sheshnag around his belly. Please never kill a snake. If you can help it, कोई घर में भी घुसा है, किसी से पकड़वा दीजिए. Never kill a snake. If you feed dogs, feed them regularly, feed them at the same time, feed them daily, or do not start this nonsense. ये नहीं कि आज 2 रोटी पड़ गई, कुत्ते को डालो. वो गाय is a much better animal for random acts of kindness. So, okay, coming back to Ketu Mahadasha, what would you tell somebody who is going through Shukra Dasha Sandhi? Because people usually come to me, sir, मेरा शुक्र start हुए 2 महीना हो गया, कुछ नहीं हो रहा. So, what would you tell such a person?
It is not a switch on and off. It's really a transition and a slow transition. Most of the effects of Ketu Mahadasha still continue, although mentally you are in a much more stable and a controlled environment.
Yeah.
You start getting your confidence back also, but it's a slow process. The success will not कि आज एकदम से आनी शुरू हो जाएगी और आप पता नहीं क्या हो जाओगे, but और उसमें भी then the केतु के शुक्र Venus के साथ the other planets का उसका effects आते रहते हैं. And but yes, as this period there is a transit of this period. As you move through this period, you start becoming more and more confident. You start being what you are. If your Buddha was good, you start going back to them. And but it's a very, very slow change, very, very slow. But yes, positive.
So during your Ketu period, you went through so much. What kept you going? What helped you survive that period?
I don't know, just went through it.
Okay, that's a very honest answer.
हाँ, मतलब if you ask me कि क्या स्पेशल किया, तो ऐसा कुछ इम्पैक्टफुल स्पेशल नहीं किया. Just went through it. Just हेल्थ खराब हुई तो अपनी हेल्थ पे फोकस कर दिया. Like I said, the moment that thing came, the first थोड़ा सा दिमाग चला कि सबसे पहले let's take care of your health. The moment your chance came, तो किया, just yeah, just went through it. I did nothing special, honestly.
What would you advise to someone who is suffering under a Ketu Mahadasha?
Keep your mind busy. Whatever your passion is, just follow it. Don't think of whether इसमें मुझे ROI क्या मिलेगा, मुझे लाभ क्या मिलेगा, नुकसान क्या मिलेगा. Whatever your passion is, your hobby is, whatever you can do, just keep your mind busy. For me, that period जब mind खराब था, मतलब खाली था, that was terrible because it would go the negative side. Find the bottom of what the worst could happen, and that could, start that ball rolling of पता नहीं negative क्या हो जाएगा. And when I started studying, when I mentioned it started in Ketu Shani period, and thereafter I did that life coaching course, I was going through a very tough health phase. I was not under that much of stress because my mind was busy. I didn't have time to just keep your mind busy. Or whatever way you want to do it. I'm not a person who's too much into meditation and all. For me, life coaching sessions act as a meditation part of it. But one more thing which helped me going, that suddenly reminds me, is a person who would not do puja regularly. It came in my life in the last stages of Ketu. Now, whatever may happen, I would just, in the morning, the first thing I go to the Ghar Ka Mandir. Last thing I go to the Ghar Ka Mandir. I pray every day, almost every day. Durga Chalisa, too, I've been doing for so many years now, but it's become very regular now. I sit there for 5 minutes, and that's what happened. This also happened in the Ketu phase.
One thing I always tell people in Ketu, seek peace. So between profit and peace, always seek peace. जैसे आपने कहा ना, do not think about the ROI.
Right.
So
Actually, Ketu आपको peace की तरफ ले ही जाता है. Because you don't have वो हिम्मत to fight. Whatever wrong is going with you, आपकी ego को रगड़ा जा रहा है. Sometimes you feel that your nose is being rubbed on the ground. You just don't want to open another front because so many fronts are already open. You just, want to keep things stable, not upset the apple cart. ये निकल जाए किसी तरीके से. So yes, peace, I would say yes. Choose peace always. मैं तो कहूँगा बाद में भी peace choose कर लो जैसे मिलता है. Fight मत करो.
Great. So last question of the interview. How did, what are the things that Venus changed from Ketu? What are the new things that happened?
Okay, so first it gave me the calling of my life. I've been working, I said I'm a businessman, but that satisfaction was not coming in. It gave me the calling of my life, which was coaching, and thanks to you, that was something you pointed me towards it. And see how Ketu showed me the way of going that place is that I had never dreamt of that I will be doing the life coaching. I didn't know about it. I had a chance encounter with you, and that is because of me looking for astrologers. And you said, आप कहाँ सरस्वती लोग ये धंधा पानी कर रहे हो, कुछ education की तरफ करो. And that was it. And I was looking for something in that direction, and I stumbled upon life coaching, and that's it. And then second time you came in my life, and you supported me wholeheartedly कि इस आदमी को support करना है. ये कहा तो नहीं था, इसको तो कहा था physics का काम करो, कुछ education center खोलो. अब ये life coach बन गया तो इसकी मदद तो करनी पड़ेगी.
My sir, the kind of yoga you had, I think people like you should become teachers. In India, teaching is, or any kind of coaching is the first resort of the unemployed. Second is share market, third is astrology.
लाइफ कोचिंग को भी जोड़ देते हैं उसमें.
हाँ
नहीं
हाँ
ऐसा नहीं.
So
But
yeah, because I get this question a lot. These corporate bosses facing their midlife crisis, and at times people who are दुखी हो गए उससे Excel sheet से, and they want to do something. Their knee-jerk reaction is, I want to become a life coach. So I tell them, boss, you are not prepared for it. Just because you can, give some gyan to your juniors and they are under the yoke of the company, they have to listen to you, doesn't make you a life coach. Coach पैदा होता है. I strongly belong to the school of thought कि लोग पैदा होते हैं, बनते नहीं हैं. राइट वो टैलेंट होता है या नहीं होता आप में वो टैलेंट था यू कुड हैव क्रिएटेड अ फिजिक्स एकेडमी आउट ऑफ इट यू क्रिएटेड लाइफ कोचिंग आउट ऑफ इट नेचर क्रिएटेड यू टू टीच दैट्स व्हाट यू आर डूइंग
So Shukra took me to that path, and it's given me now the speed, given this path the speed, and it's giving me immense satisfaction. And I think the satisfaction itself has given me whatever ROI that I was looking for. That is for one. It has given me that courage back. You've seen my chart. I was never an obnoxious or a boisterous kind of a person, but whatever little bit of that high-headedness might have come in the Buddha period or with the kind of background that I'm coming from, it was taken care of by the Ketu. So what actually it gave me also was I realized the kind of support people are looking for when they are going through a bad time. And that I think helped me, and this Venus period helped me become more empathetic, more considerate towards people. And this Ketu experience also helped me, and this is helping me move forward in the coaching business also. I've got the courage to fight back now. Courage to say, no, this is coming, Venus. Courage to say, this is my right, which I was not saying, जो अंदर ही अंदर खाए जा रहा था कि बोल नहीं पा रहा था अब बोल पा रहा हूँ अब एक हिम्मत आ गई है so this is what Venus has taken care of. Venus has taken care of that long niggling thing which started in 2015 and which aggravated in the Ketu Shani period, reached its peak in Venus period, and then had to undergo a procedure, and hopefully it should be all right now.
So, sir, with this, we come to the end of this. Now, I'm sure some people might want to reach out to you for life coaching. How can they reach out to you?
Through you. And Shantanu has been helping me with
I'll
that.
put Shantanu's number and
yes.
they'll reach out to you. I would want maximum people to reach out to you and benefit from your experience and wisdom, like I always do. With this, we come to the end of this beautiful session. Thank you, Shrish sir. It was such a pleasure.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
I'll see you in the next one. Jai Ma.
Jai Ma.